Yeah, I really need to do some maintenance on that mill. That engine is running like crap. Some of the clamps and stuff on there are rusted up to where I can't use them. Well, anyway, I need to do some maintenance on that. I was hoping to get all these things milled up before we get back into our normal rainy pattern. Forecast was for it to stay dry for a couple more days, but now they've changed that and it's supposed to start raining tomorrow. So anyway, the mill is running like crap, but I am getting boards cut out of it. I got that first cant that I took off of there, that first slab that I took off of that log this morning. I just broke it down and I got 12 2x6s out of it. I got 11 really nice 2x6s and one with a little bit of wane on it. I might have been able to get another one out of that last bit that was on there, but the one end of it wasn't very good, and then it turned into pretty good wood after that, but I decided it wasn't worth fooling with. So I've got 3 more of these cants, and they're bigger than that one was. They're 30 inches, and that one was the first cut I made on it was to cut the wane off of it and the crappy wood, and that was at 24 inches. So I wound up getting 12 boards out of that. So I should be able to get at least 12 boards each out of the rest of those other 3. Probably should get a couple more because, like I said, that was 24 inches and these are all 30 inches wide, so there's probably at least 3 more boards in there in each one of those. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. I don't work again tomorrow, and we'll see. The morning is supposed to be pretty good and it's supposed to start raining in the afternoon, but I'd like to get these butchered up before it starts raining. Now this cant is 29 3/4 inches from top to bottom. It's 5 3/4 inches wide to break down into 2x6s. So I can't raise my blade up that high. The highest I can raise my blade up is 24 inches. So what I'm going to do, I figured this out and I set it up for 22 3/4 inches. Well, it's nice outside right now. We need to be getting something done. But boy, it sure rained overnight this morning. It must have rained 2 inches or more overnight. Big, heavy storms, squalls. It raining pretty heavy, and you'd think it was raining heavy, and then it rained heavier. And then thunder. Sounded like the old potato wagons rolling over. It's kind of funny because I thought for a while there I was the only one that heard the thunder. I talked to 2 or 3 people today, and none of them heard it. And then finally I talked to the gal at the post office, and she heard it. Anyway, like I said, it's nice now. I've been trying to work on these logs, getting them broke down. Been a few days now since I last worked on it. The last thing I was doing was breaking down the last of the cants, and I broke the last blade that I had. I had some new blades that I bought here last time I was sawing, and I only had 2 of them left when I started, and then I used the first one until it got pretty dull, and then I just pushed the second one too far until it broke. And those blades are 7/8 inch pitch, 7/8 inch between the tips of the teeth, and I don't have a cam for my sharpener to sharpen those. Well, I finally ordered a cam for it, and if get it in a few days, I suppose, then I can sharpen those blades. But meanwhile, I come in and dug out some of my 3/4 inch blades, 3/4 inch pitch blades, and those are ones I've been using for years. I just had a pile of those. They were getting pretty old and tired. In fact, the first one I sharpened up, I must have sharpened it a dozen times. I can recognize it because they did a bad job welding it, and the teeth don't line up right on it where the weld is, so they have to manipulate that. Well, anyway, I've got 2 of them sharpened up and ready to go. This is the 3rd one on here now. I've got a pile of them there I can get sharpened up, and then I can use those. But like I said, I was trying to get some new ones because these have been used pretty good. And I think I went through all of these and set the teeth, set the pitch on the, or not the pitch, but the width on the teeth. And so they should be good maybe for a few more cuts, and then I'll have to reset the teeth again. But anyway, get busy getting some of these sharpened up, and then I'll finish up cutting up that timber, that cant that I had. Well, it's been a few days now since I worked on this log, but it's been raining so hard, the weather's been kind of nasty here. I've been working, and so I didn't get back out here yet to start sawing. Well, I just put a fresh blade on the mill, and I'm going to finish breaking this cant down, and I've got that other cant that I took off the top of this one to break down, and 2x6s. And we'll finish this up, and then I've got the slab that came off of that I can break down into some more lumber there. And the mill is running a lot better. I adjusted the carburetor on it and richened the mixture up on the run mixture, and it's running a whole lot better. The muffler is still wore out on it, and I've ordered new parts for it. I ordered parts to tune the engine up, points and condenser and stuff like that, and oil filter and air filter and all of that stuff. And I ordered some stuff for a muffler, so I'll see if I can't get something fixed up for a muffler on that. But we'll run it the way it is for now. Well, that big log is done. All butchered up. Here's today's catch. The last of it was a bunch of stickers out of that last little bit of that slab. By the time they get cut up into 4-foot lengths, that'll be a pretty good pile of stickers. Should be enough to sticker these wood that I got. Well, there's today's catch. Got 22 2x6s. I got 9 out of that slab and 13 out of those cants that I had. So total out of that log is 71 2x6s plus some stickers. That's a pretty good count, number of 2x6s. And I'm looking at those slabs that I took off of there, and might be able to get something else out of one of those slabs, but it's not hardly worth fooling with now, I don't think. Well, anyway, that log is all processed into something usable. It's not sitting around here taking up, well, it's still going to be here taking up space, but now it's going to be in a nice neat lumber stack. I'll get that stickers on that and get it stickered up, and get the rest of the pile that we made the other day, get those stickered up and stacked up, covered up with some tin, and let them dry out a little bit, and they'll be usable. That heartwood like that on that tree, they're fairly well dried out already. It don't take very long for those to dry out to use. The sapwood takes a little bit longer, but a lot of that sapwood was rotten, so that'll be eliminated. But anyway, that's the haul. It took me a few days to do it because of the BandSaw blades and stuff, and then the weather, but we got her done. Well, here's the results of our chainsaw milling operation. It's not going to be the final results because those boards still have some processing to be done on them. Some of them will be run through the joiner and the planer to be used for finished size lumber, nominal dimension lumber, and then they have to go into their final product, whether it be a wall or a roof or whatever. But anyway, this is what we got so far here, with a few days of running the chainsaw on 2 big logs. The last log, the one I did by myself, is on the bottom, and I got 71 2x6s out of that, plus enough stickers to sticker it for air drying. And then the top, or I guess I should say the middle stack, is what come out of the first log that we did. There's 32 2x6s there, and 10 2x4s, and one nice 1-inch plank. Then the stack on top is something I milled up a long time ago. That's some 8-foot yellow cedar 1x. Then up there, I don't know where she's at there. Hiding behind that stump, I guess. There she is. Is my wife. She's in berry picking mode right now. She picked currants this morning. She's been picking raspberries, and now she's out here behind the house in the woods back here picking wild blueberries. And my son brought his dog over a little while ago. He had to go help a friend out, so he dropped the dog off here with us, and she's up there helping Judy pick. And as long as she doesn't get in the bucket and eat them out of the bucket, I guess that's okay. But it's funny, the dog will run up there and figure out whatever bush you're working on, and that's the one she wants to go eat off of. But oh, here's an example of some of the stuff that I've done with the chainsaw mill. These were cut several years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that. This is out of the basement, and the floor joists up there are 2x12s. They're full dimension 2x12s, 24 foot long. This building is 24 foot wide, so there's 22 feet from inside to inside on the walls in here, and these full dimension 2x12 spruce 2x12s are rated to span that on a 24-inch centers. I've got those on 16-inch centers. But then, just for good measure, I've got this timber that I cut, and this was a big spruce tree that was growing here on the property, and this is 14 inches deep and 12 inches wide, and that was 35 feet long when I cut it. It's now 32 foot long, which spans the length of the basement. And so that bisects the span of the floor. Then all the rim joists all the way around the house are the same 2x12s, hand cut with a chainsaw mill, and they're doubled up, so they're 4 inches wide, actually, the rim joists all the way around. And that was a joy to nail. We used 20 penny nails because 16 penny nails don't penetrate hard enough, and had to hand drive all of them. On the next floor, between the main floor, which is above us, and the second floor above that, I've got 6x12s spanning across the direction that these 2x12 span now, and those were cut at the same time. That's what a lot of these 2x12s come from, is off the byproduct of the 6x12s. And then on those for floor joists, I've got 2x8s, and they are hemlock, and they were cut here off of trees off the property. Now some of these 2x12s here are byproduct of this tree that I cut the 12x14 out of, and some of them came from out in the woods, from logging out in the woods. Anyway, that's chainsaw mill production. All of the lumber in the house that built the house was milled with the chainsaw. The walls on the house are SIP panels, structurally insulated panels, and then the rafters are trusses for the roof, and I bought those. Those were commercially bought trusses. But every other stick of wood in the house was cut on the chainsaw mill, and that includes all of the scaffolding that went up, the bracing and stuff that went up around the basement walls. The basement walls are styrofoam forms, but I put scaffolding up around there and bracing around there when we put those up, and then we had scaffolding around the house to put the walls and stuff up on that, and all of that has now been repurposed into other things. But anyway, there's a lot of chainsaw, a lot of saw gas burnt building this house.